one of the things that I said that is associated with sugar is mood swings, stress, anxiety. A lot of people, eat, relating to those type of emotional conditions. And when we are experiencing those emotions, we don't say, oh, I think I'm going to make a salad right now.
Oh no.
No, we say, you know what? I need an ice cream. I need that
Okay.
bag of potato chips. One of my
Hello, Christina. Welcome back. What a pleasure to see you again and to have you back on the show. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. It's great to be back.
Oh, listen, I'm really happy that you're back. Well, some of the people that are going to hear this might not be so happy because of the subject and because probably all of us have it, including me. And I'll say it's one of the sweetest things to have right now, but in the long run, it's poison. And yeah, whoever didn't think about it until now, we're talking about sugar. You just had a workshop and a detox that you really brought people to like amazing results. But before we talk about the results and how people get to those results, I want you just to explain a little bit more about why sugar is so dangerous for us, especially in the long term. And then also, of course, if you could share about the workshop, the detox, the results.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the first thing is that, yeah, like is awareness, right? Most people are not really aware of how much sugar they consume and where sugar is hiding. So the first
What do you
question
mean?
that I like to ask is, um,
I see it says sugar on the box.
uh-huh, well, how many people actually look at the box to see that there's sugar there?
Okay.
Exactly. So let me ask you the first question. How much sugar uh, do you think is recommended for a man?
Probably someplace between zero and well, fruit has sugar, so that's good, but uh other than that, I'm not sure.
Just take a guess. Like, what do you think is like, the recommendation? I know we're in different
Yeah,
countries, but for your
if
country.
if it doesn't come from fruit, honey, or from the nature, I'm assuming zero.
Well, sugar is sugar. So, I mean, as far as, how it's gonna relate into your body. So, a little bit of sugar, is gonna be, it's usually gonna be there because of just how we prepare it. So, but it's recommended. So I'll tell you first, for the average American, well, I'm from the United States, they consume 77 grams of sugar per day.
Wow.
That is about 330 calories and 18 teaspoons. Now, the recommendation for men is only 36 grams,
Wow.
and for women, it's 25 grams.
Wow.
So
Well, it
it's,
sounds
yeah,
better.
significant.
It sounds better to be a man. We could have more sugar.
Yeah, because yeah, men tend to have, higher fat muscle
Wow.
content in their
But that means
metabolism.
that both man and woman, like we have much more sugar than we should have. But why is sugar so bad? Like you're saying, okay, we're having much more, but why everyone say that? Why is it so bad?
Well, yeah, I mean, so sugar consumption is associated with a lot of conditions that, are really detrimental to our health. So it's linked to increased risk for heart disease and cancer, increased risk of diabetes, which I think most people know about. Also weight gain and body fat, and I'll talk about more about specifically what type of body fat, dizziness, insomnia, hair loss, inflammation, reduced flexibility, tooth decay, which I think most people know about, ADHD and ADD, anxiety,
Oh,
mood
man.
swings, depression, gut health, weakened immune system.
Oh
It
my God.
ages your body, causes wrinkles, hypertension, and even allergies.
That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So specifically, like with the inflammation, some of the conditions that are associated with it it's a lot of autoimmune skin diseases like psoriasis and things like that. It's also associated with inflammatory bowel disease, GERDs, and liver disease.
Wow. That's a lot of diseases
So
right there.
yeah, definitely. And like two of our biggest health crises on our hands right now is obesity and type 2 diabetes, which is linked to fructose consumption because it builds up visceral fat. And visceral fat puts a massive strain on your liver. So there are people who don't consume any alcohol, but they have fatty liver disease. And in the next 10 years, it's projected that the sugar is going to be the reason for psoriasis, the top reason for psoriasis, not alcohol.
Wow, that's crazy. I think that we understand now why sugar is bad for us. No, if someone didn't understand until now, just go back 2 minutes on the show and listen to all those diseases, and I think it's pretty clear. But my question is, how do we stop having sugar? Because it's like drugs. It's really addictive. I know that's what you do in your workshop, but like, how do we stop?
Well, the first thing, like I said, is always awareness. And so when you said like, okay, where is it hiding? Because, obviously if we have a piece of cake or a candy bar or ice cream, we associate that sugar. But a lot of times, for example, one of the guys in my detox group, he takes these bran buds, which helps him with his constipation. And, bran, we think bran is healthy. And once he did the detox, he realized, oh my gosh, these have, I think it was 11 grams of sugar. And this is supposed to be something that's healthy. And that's the thing, until you actually, exactly. So, and this is what I explained to them. If something needs to say on the box, healthy, whatever, something that's related to health, make sure you turn it over and actually read the ingredients. So don't even just read the nutritional facts, because they'll say, oh, it only has 1 gram of sugar. Yeah, because according to the serving size, they're going to do it to their advantage. Oh, our serving size maybe is, 3 pieces of whatever we're selling. Nobody eats 3 pieces. They're going to eat the whole thing. So once you eat the whole thing, you might be ending up, having 20 grams of sugar. So it's really important to actually read the ingredients. Whatever's at the top, the first few ingredients, that's in the highest amount in whatever you're consuming. So if sugar's up there, you know that there's actually a high amount of sugar, regardless of how many grams they're reporting on the box. So that's the first thing. It's just is to become aware of where the sugar is hiding, because it's not just in the things that are very obvious. It's pretty much in everything. When you buy an apple, there's no health claim. They don't say the apple's healthy, that that this has fiber. We know that. So if it has it on something else that's boxed, there's probably a reason why.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of all our food, but
well, not all your food. When you focus on the food that's on the outsides of the aisle, in the grocery store, those don't need to have a label, like I said, because they're just coming from the earth.
So you're saying earth foods is basically like whatever is not processed, those are foods that we'll try to have more in our diet.
Definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's something that I think that most people can do. Tell me more about the workshop and the detox, because I know you had some amazing results there.
Yeah, it was really amazing. So I did a workshop. It was in a yoga studio in Arlington, Texas. And we had about 20 people who showed up and attended the workshop. But once we actually did the challenge, which I invited everybody afterwards to join in a 5-day sugar detox challenge, I ended up having at least 35. It might be more, because people invited their friends and their spouses, their children. So yeah, I think it's probably more than 35, but that's how many people I had in the Facebook group.
Nice.
And so it was 5 days. I gave them, simple instructions. And the first thing I told them to do, one of the first things was to take their measurements, to take a before picture, and to weigh themselves. And the results were amazing. So I mean, what I specialize in is that basically what I do is I help introverted engineers get out from behind their computer and lose excess weight so they can gain confidence and find the love of their life. And so really a lot of focus on weight loss. So our biggest loser in 5 days was 10 pounds.
Wow.
Everybody lost at least 3 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice amount of sugar. How did people
Yeah.
not have sugar? Like, what do you eat? Just have like greens and salads?
I mean, they could have whatever they wanted to have. But yeah, we were focusing on taking the sugar out to recalibrate their taste buds. So yeah, it was no sugar whatsoever. Um, you know, yeah, no sugar whatsoever, basically. So they could make whatever they wanted. Definitely when you take out sugar, you do want to focus really on whole foods. That means really having good healthy fats. So things like avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, butter, sesame oil, like those oils are really good. Nuts, and then obviously having sufficient amount of protein, and also eating regularly. What I do is I coach weight loss through eating more.
That
So it's
sounds
really
interesting.
important. What's
Uh,
that?
that sounds interesting. You eat more and you lose weight. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. And some people, when I say that, or when I first try to introduce that to them, it's really hard, for them to get their head around it, because we're so used to counting calories. I don't know how it is for you in Israel, but in the United States, they tell you everything, how many calories, how much fat, how much saturated fat, and yet United States is right behind Mexico as the fattest nation in the world. So you can
Wow.
see how helpful that has been.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound that it's that helpful. In general, I'm not, I'm against, for myself at least, counting calories and things like that. Like, live a healthy, balanced life, and that could mean a lot of things, but I think that's a better way. But what do you mean, like, when you told people to eat more and then they lose more weight? And I also wonder, you said like people lost weight after the workshop at the detox. How do you help them with your type of diet also maintain that? Because we know many people lose weight but then have a really hard time maintaining that loss. And not only that, sometimes they gain much more than what they lost.
Yeah, well, so look at this. So one of the things that I said that is associated with sugar is mood swings, stress, anxiety. A lot of people, eat, relating to those type of emotional conditions. And when we are experiencing those emotions, we don't say, "Oh, I think I'm going to make a salad right now."
Oh no.
No, we say, you know what? I need an ice cream. I need that
Okay.
bag of potato chips. One of my mentors, every time, and he's Evan Carmichael. He has a bag of Doritos behind him
Yep.
in his all of his videos, and that's whatever. There's a story behind that, or a Snickers bar or whatnot. So now, if we're taking out sugar, you're not experiencing those mood swings, that stress, and that anxiety. So now it's like, okay, I'm actually hungry. So now I can think intelligently instead of from my emotions. I can actually think from a side, okay, food is nourishment. What is going to be the most nourishing thing for my body? And then I eat that. And the experience that I have with that is, oh, I feel well nourished. I don't feel, crazy. I don't crash, later on in the day. This feels good. So when something feels good, we want to repeat that.
Wow. But it sounds really nice, when we're sitting down here and talking. But if I'll stop having now sugar, like what do I do when I have all these craves to have like more and more? Because it's a drug. We stop and then like we want to have much more. So what did you do in the workshop and the detox that help people actually maintain that discipline of not having any sugar?
Well, I mean, look, it's 5 days, and I'm not working, I'm not working with them closely, but I'm showing them like a little taste of how it affects the body. So, having, eating regularly, and also that's the whole point of having that group. We had a Facebook group, and had people posting, oh, I drank my water, I finished my water today, or this is what I made today, or I'm down this many pounds, or whatever it was. So when somebody wants to slip into something, they have that accountability from the group. So that's really, really powerful. Very, very powerful. And there's a lot of components that obviously go through it. That's why if you really want to have the full effect, you need a coach. You need somebody who's going to go with you, and okay, I do have these habits with my mindset. I tend to get stressed, and I tend to react when these people do this, and then when that happens, then this is how I eat. So I mean, that's something you have to have more of accountability for that. But I mean, they still did have significant results because they had the accountability in the group, and they did have some guidelines, like I said, with eating regularly, focusing on high fats, and drinking plenty of water.
Those things, like you just mentioned, it sounds like everyone can do them, but like you said, the challenge is everyone will probably start doing them and then eventually stop. So for that, you said that like we could have someone, a coach, hold us accountable. And I'm wondering, as a health coach, when you meet people, do you see like another challenge that stops them from maintaining that way of living, like that health life? I want to say health life balance, but I'll say that healthy way of living. Like, is there, in addition to someone holding you accountable, is there like another thing that stops people from living a healthier life?
Yeah, it's you basically have to create a whole new mindset. So first of all, you have to decide, do I really want to make this change? Like, am I at the point where I'm tired of of this weight? I'm tired of this lack of energy. I'm tired of these mood swings. I'm tired of feeling depressed. I'm tired of not being able to fit my clothes, or feeling not confident, or not getting the job promotion. Like, I'm done. I am done, and I have made a decision that I'm going to do something about it. Great. That's where I come in. That's all I need. Now I'm going to take you by the hand, and I'm going to say, right, this is where you're at right now, and you've made a decision that I want to go over here. Now I want to be somebody who is fit, who's energized, who feels happy, who's confident, who gets a job promotion. By the way, I recently had 3 clients, not because of anything that I told or whatever, that got job promotions.
Nice.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And yeah. And so basically, it's like, okay, you've made the decision. Okay, let me take you by the hand, because this is where you want to go. And we're going to take all these little small steps to get you where you want to go. And every time that you want to slip back, I'm going to remind you, you said you want to go here, right? Yeah. So here doesn't have the same mind as over here. So we got to focus on the mind that's over here. And I'm going to keep, feeding you things that are going to help you, to remind you, okay, this is where I want to be. This is what I said I wanted. These are the behaviors. These are the thoughts. These are the actions. These are the things I have to do on a daily basis, on an hour-to-hour basis, to get me to where I want to go.
Wow. I love it, because you really help people, like you said, walk them through the whole path, because along the path, sometimes we have detours, and there are some rocks, stones, challenges, we'll call them. And the path, you walked it, you're the tour guide, and you're helping them go on the right path, and not only walk through it, also walk through it in a more comfortable way, which is beautiful. And if I understand you correctly, so the first thing is basically first to understand why I want to do this change, right? Because if I don't know deep enough inside why I really want to do this change, it won't hold, like it won't stay for too much time. But then when you do that mindset change, well, I'll call that maybe step number 2. Is there like a time that like the person also learns by themselves some tools, or like you think people should, like with time, I'm saying, do they also create something for themselves, or it's always having someone?
Definitely. I mean, definitely. I mean, basically, I mean, I'm gonna give you all the information. I'm gonna give you all the information to help you to get to where you want to go. but it is up to you to take that information and, and to use it and take those steps. Now, if you take it and then you fall back, of course, I'm going to be there and I'm going to say, hey, like I said, I'm going to remind you, you said that this is where you want to go, but the amount that you put in multiplies. Like I just had one client, he kind of fought me in the beginning. It is a thing about, gaining trust, and that took him some time. But once he decided, okay, I'm going all in, I'm gonna trust this woman, I'm gonna eat the more food, because he had a specific date that he needed to lose the weight, because he does jujitsu, and he had a tournament coming up. And once he told me that, I'm like, right, I'm gonna train you to win the whole thing. I didn't tell him that, but that's what we were focusing on. What happened? He won. He won the whole thing. He lost the weight without, having to, eat less. He ate more. He went from eating one meal a day to eating 5 to 6 meals. And he lost the weight that he needed to lose in the amount of time. And he's still losing, by the way. now we're focusing on, shifting that so that, he can gain more muscle.
Wow.
Completely different person. Completely different person.
Amazing. And you're helping people get, to get to those results. Losing too much weight, maybe that's a different story, but I'm sure that now you're helping him, like you say, to build muscle. But now that you're talking about, the way that you believe people should live in terms of diet, you mentioned like a few things that people can do. But if people want to learn more about how to live, life, I'll say a healthier life with that type of diet, is there any workshop or any another like detox that you're doing anytime soon?
Yes, I am planning another sugar detox in the month of May. So, and
That's in a second.
What's that?
That's like right around the corner.
Yes, yeah, because the results were just mind blowing. I mean, I couldn't have predicted those results. And it wasn't just the weight. People who told me on the first call, oh yeah, I sleep, I'm a good sleeper. I put my head down and I sleep. They reported they had better sleep. They reported they had better energy levels. They did report that their stress levels went down because their tolerance went up. They weren't feeling so anxious and reactive.
Wow.
They're having better interactions with their family, better interactions at work. And a woman had a 17-year-old son. Now, because of the food that she had to eat more, he realized that he liked some of the food that he never tried before, because part of it is eating more. Well, you've got to find some variety, right? Otherwise you'll just be eating the same thing every 4 hours. And so that was really significant. Her son loved it. He was so excited because he got to try all this new food, and now she realizes, okay, this is my son's favorite food now.
Wow. Amazing. Before you talk about the detox just a little bit more, are we allowed to have fruit, like no sugar at all, or will we also fruit, honey, things like that?
Well, that is something specific that needs to be addressed in the detox. But I will tell you that fruit is not bad. Fruit is not something that's bad. There's nothing wrong with fruit, but also remember that the guidelines, 36 grams for men and 25 grams for women, it doesn't say, oh, except for fruit. Those are just the guidelines. It's just, it's just the sugar.
Okay.
But know that when you have fruit also has fiber. Honey, for example, has aminos. So those slow down the process of the sugar actually entering into your bloodstream. So it's not the same thing as just taking a tablespoon of sugar. If you do that, that goes right into your bloodstream. Your insulin levels spike up. It's not the same process with fruit.
Got it. Well, for more details about that, I'll let people go to your detox workshop. We could leave links below, right? That people can reach you. Would that be the best way? Like people should contact you? And
yeah,
then...
or they can, yeah, we'll leave some links. They can also contact me through Instagram. My handle is wellness.with.christina.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, Christina, again, thank you very much. All the information, wisdom that you bring here, if people implement it, I'm sure it can help them live a better life. And On this show, we're all about, helping people invest more in themselves so they can serve our purpose that is greater than themselves. And it sounds like we need to cut some of the sugar. I guess.
Yeah. So my
Fine,
question to you is, are you going to join the challenge?
Great question. Actually, my answer is I might join. It all depends, on our work schedule, but I do need to. I reduced some of my sugar. I used to have much more. But let me know when the challenge is, and I'll be happy. Yeah, for sure.
That would be awesome.
I'm in.
Sounds great. I can't wait. I'm so excited. You're going to be, like I said, there's weight loss, but there's so much more. There's so much more to
the
it.
weight loss is I don't
No.
count calories. It's more on the mind. By the way, I'll just share one small thing. I love sweets, okay, and I'll still keep on having them. I'll never stop probably, but I reduce. So I reduced a lot, but I did do like not a research, like an experiment on myself. And for 2 weeks, I had only sweets, only sweets. I wanted to see what happens, and the results, like, you had good results. For me, was the opposite. Like, my reactions, everything was like was bad. So but also today I'll have chocolate, but I'll have like darker chocolate and things like that, which is good for the brain and whatever. But on my experiment, I was approved for what you were saying, that sugar has those results. So again, I'm looking forward for the challenge, and thank you very much for today. And we will be in touch hopefully pretty soon.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, my handle is wellness.with.christina. And we'll put those links below.
Perfect. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed the video and you got some tools to overcome your challenges and light your path. For us to help other people, please press that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget that the most amazing things in life are the one you take for granted.